talk about Linux a lot in this channel, but what about learning Linux? People ask me, why don't you teach Linux? Well, then we can go ahead with you and shift to Linux without any problems. Well, why not? So this tutorial series will cover the basics of Linux and some Linux tools that you need and basic information about Linux so that you don't have any problems. Now, like every OS, you have to learn Linux. So in this one, we will learn Linux terminal. Now, what's the terminal? Well, the terminal is an application. It's like the Windows PowerShell, or in Windows 11 it's again the Windows terminal, if you have heard about it. So it's like a command line interface. Now most people think that, oh, Linux is all about terminal, but no. Nowadays modern distros, what they do is they focus more on GUI side than the terminal side. Some don't even concentrate on the terminal, some just concentrate on the GUI. So you can run Linux without even opening the terminal. But for troubleshooting, yes, you have to open the terminal once or sometime. Yeah, every troubleshooting does not happen with those settings and all and apps. So that's sort of a thing, but for your daily use, you don't really need Linux terminal if you are not a programmer and all. So this is basically, but terminal is an awesome tool to learn. So that's why I'm making this, because the terminal is the powerhouse. It's like it's a great thing to learn. It gives you some power out there, and it makes stuff fast, it makes stuff cool, it makes stuff easier. You have used terminal if you are a programmer, the VS Code terminal where we write pip install this, pip install that. This is the terminal. So let's hop onto the desktop. Okay, so here we have the terminal. So this is our terminal. In Linux distros, basically mostly there are the GNOME terminal, where it's Ubuntu, whether it's Manjaro. Here let me launch the GNOME terminal instead. So you don't need to know what is GNOME terminal for first if you're a beginner. Well, this is what your terminal basically looks like, or this is at least what it looks like. So first command that we should learn, which is essential, is ls. Now what is ls? ls is used for listing the contents of the directory. Now where do you start the terminal? When you start your location is basically home.user, which is equivalent to to the Windows path of at C drive, and then users and the username. That's how it starts. So where you have your desktop and all, and I have quite a few files there. So yeah, so this is the ls command. So what does ls do? Let me just zoom in a bit. Let's just clear it. So ls, what does ls do? ls lists all the stuff out there in my current directory, which is, I am showing you once more. Let me launch my file manager. So here are all my folders. Here is desktop, AISC app, Albert, then documents, and you will see the same stuff are given here, ls. Now what if you want hidden files? Some files are hidden in your desktop, and they start with a dot. So suppose I make a new folder called .hello. So I can't see my file. I can't see any file named hello. So what could I do? I will just click here and show the hidden files, where it will show me now where my hello is. Here is my hello folder which I created. So here also it's the same. So the hidden files are not shown every time. So what to do if you want to show hidden files? Then lsal. So this just lists all the files out there. You can even do lsa, which again shows you the hidden files, all of the hidden files, and including the files which are non-hidden. So lsal, it basically what it does is l is just list. This lsl is just for lists. So you will see it will list all the properties and all here down there, and this a will just do the hidden files thing. So these are the few flags of ls. So you can even find what ls does by doing this ls help. So these are the various things you can do with ls. There is one line ls, suppose 1. So you will see that what it will do is it will put one thing at a line and it will just order it one by one. Again, if we execute ls help, and to execute the previous commands you can just navigate through arrow keys, up arrow, down arrow. So ls, and then here we have grid. So let's try this G. So you will see it will come in a grid format like it does in ls. So that's all. And here what you can do is this is let's try lsx, which will again show you some folder, and I see some additions here. Like this output is looking a bit more organized than this one. These are 5 rows and these are 4 rows. Well, yes, that's what it does, but the main things, the main stuff is just like that it's just a lsa and lsl. So that's what you will mostly use, others you don't really use much. Then there are list dir, yeah, another is ls flag d. Right, okay. So that will just list the directories as files and don't list their contents. So that's what it does. Then you can just reverse the sort order. You can just make it start from W to A. So these are pretty much the functions. This was the ls function. Now we move to another command, which is cd. Now what cd is? Change directory. Now what do we do in file managers? First we go to desktop, then we go to our folders of Zorgo, and then here we go to the Blender folder and look at our files. But why not do this from the terminal? You have your files here. You can see you have your files here out there. So why not just move to the folder from here? So what we can do is cd desktop. So if we move to desktop, you will see that we are in desktop now. Now if we do ls, then we will see all the files in our desktop. So our working directory is currently desktop. Then if we do again cd orgo and Blender, so you can just launch this autocomplete with the tab key, which will autocomplete stuff out there, and you will see I have all my Blender files here. Now even if I do lists, then you will see all of them are there right here. So this was the cd command. It's as simple. It's just changing directories. It's just moving directories to directories with the terminal. If you want to use a file, or if you want to edit a file, then you can just cd into the directory of the file and edit it. And paths are written like this. Suppose so we can do cd and this symbol to just go back to our home directory, which is again this directory where we started at. Or what we can do is we can just do cd and we will go to our home directory. Suppose I go to cd desktop once, then I give cd without an argument, I will again return to my home directory. And this was it. So the cd command is pretty simple. There is nothing complicated here. Now what you can do is suppose you are on desktop. So now you want to go to downloads folder. There are two workarounds here. First, you will put this symbol which represents your home directory, then downloads. So here we go to downloads. Now another thing we can do is here that we can put two dots here and then downloads. So that's how we do it. So you put two dots here, two periods, and then you just do the down, just write the file name, because two dots, it basically means that go one folder back and then find another folder. So if you wanna go to desktop, then I can again continue my path out there. It's pretty easy. So here you will reach the thing, reach your directories. So my shell is different, so it may make you wonder why these stuff are not coming. Like I am having this autocomplete which I can really see. So why is this not coming? So this is because the shell, because most come with the bash shell, which I don't really like, and we can make another video on it that day, but for now this is it. So this was the cd command. Now what am I doing to clear the shell? So this is the clear command. It's like CLS in Windows. So this is the clear command, and you can just clear your terminal with it. Suppose LSAL, which is pretty large, and I just want to clean this terminal, I will just clear the whole thing, nothing else. So the next command we will look at is pwd. Now what's that? So suppose you forget your current directory where you are, well, you can always see it here, but suppose you have a prompt where it doesn't show, because it depends from distro to distro. So you can just enter pwd and you can just see your current file path. So that's it. Now this is something you have to do, this commands. So these are package managers. Well, you have to learn them if you are learning the terminal. Well, in most distros there is a software manager, like I have one. In Manjaro there is Pamac, which is actually, now I think they have changed, but I have the older version of Manjaro which had Pamac inbuilt, and I'm using Manjaro for about a year. So yeah, and this is the package manager, and you can see apps here. You can even search apps and install apps, but that's not just how you do it in a terminal. Well, in terminal you have, in Arch-based distros, you have the sudo pacman su, sudo pacman s, software name, app name. This is the syntax. So what it does is it installs your app. The app name will be replaced by the thing you want to add, like VirtualBox. Yeah, so yes, we can do it. And one thing you should do is use AUR helpers instead of pacman. So what you can do is sudo pacman sa, or there is yaourt, or there is paru, or there is even some other stuff like Tizen. So what you just need to do is then paru as qt creator, suppose, or suppose ye as GitHub desktop. So you will just have the facility to access the whole world with it. I mean, the biggest software repository, which is the AUR. So you will just have the access to it, and you will get access to awesome packages also. And some of my packages are even in the AUR, and it's a pretty friendly platform. So you will see in my shell, this is actually a custom prompt. So you will see this is actually my shell. So this is what we had done, and I think this is enough for the basics, but some things are still left. Suppose suppose these stuff, like you want to make a directory, what could I do? What you can do is mkdir. This is the syntax. This is actually the command, not syntax. Where mkdir, suppose I make a folder called ghost. So if I do ls now, I will see my folder ghost has come out here. So this is what we see. This is how we make a folder out there. Now then we can just cd into ghost. Sorry. ghost. Okay, so we just cd it into ghost, and then what we want to do is we want to make a file. So what we can do is touch hello.txt or touch by.py. So now again, if we do ls, we will see our two files are here, hello.txt, by.py. So we can edit this with an inbuilt editor, which is nano. So actually nano hello.txt. So this is nano. Nano is a terminal file manager which you can use for writing out files. Suppose I give hello world, I am J, a YouTuber. So let's just write out this file. How to save this file? We have written this. Now how to save this file? We will just press Ctrl plus X, then Y in the keyboard. Then file name to write, we can just save it with the same file name. This is hello.txt. I personally prefer Vim, but that's how you save a file. So I personally prefer Vim, but it's not really beginner friendly, and that's why most use nano for that. Now another thing, what's sudo? You saw me doing sudo pacman as software name. So what's that? Well, sudo pacman, sudo is something like it's like any command you write after sudo. Suppose I give sudo ls, so it will ask me for my computer password, which I have to enter. So while installing, you set this password while installing Linux, and that's how you log in into Linux. So you should know your root password. So sudo is basically doing stuff as an administrator. Some stuff are there which you can't really do with your normal user privileges. Like you open, suppose in Windows you run as administrator. Here you can just do sudo and program name or sudo command name. Suppose there is our file system, which is like the system 32 of Windows, but it's not that vulnerable. So there's another file system like that, and it's pretty nice file system. It's not like those crap NTFS there out. So let's go to cd etc folder. So we are in etc, so it's showing a red sign, which means that we are well, that's just my prompt, but in this file system all you need to do, you need sudo to do. Suppose let me make a file here. See, you will see this thing, permission denied. So remember, whenever permission denied error is there, it's the 99% chance that you need sudo for this. So sudo touch by.py. So it didn't ask me for password because it had asked me before, but in TTYs they ask you, but leave TTY, you don't need to know. So even if we do ls now, and we will see here we have this by.py here. Yeah, here you can see we have the by.py. Even if we wanna rm by.py, which is the remove command, remove write protected regular file, yes, cannot remove by. So sudo, yes, so we did sudo and we have all the power in our hands. Now we can just go to sudo, we can just go to our home directory now. Now as I used rm, I would like to show there how to just remove stuff out there. So I want to remove a file, cd desktop, let's just go to desktop, and I wanna remove this thing. Cd org. So there was that I created the file, yeah, ghost. So let's just cd into ghost, and then let's just delete hello.txt, rm hello.txt. It will just remove it. Now if I do ls, then you will see that there is no hello.txt, so it's just removing files. Now rm has other options, like suppose I want to delete this whole folder. So if I do rm ghost, it won't delete because it's a directory. So for directories, what you need to do is you just need to put the R flag out there, rm-r ghost. So now if I do ls, then you will see my ghost folder is dead, it's gone. And you can just execute rm help as usual. So this is rmv, rm verbose. So suppose we make another folder, again may create ghost, then rmrv. We can put two flags in one after one hyphen, and it won't just affect anything. So we can just remove ghost. So it is just giving us a log that what it is removing. Suppose we have some more files in ghost. Suppose cd ghost touch index. Yeah, suppose we have these 3 files out there. Now we just clear, let me just clear it a bit, then cd. Now what we can do is let's just do it. So it will just tell you the whole log, that what it does one by one. First it removed the files inside the directory, then it removed the directory. So that's just verbosity. Again, if we do help, then r, so remove empty directories. So suppose I have an empty directory which is mkdir ghost, then rmd ghost. So that will just remove it. But suppose I have files in that directory. Again I'm again let's do touch cd ghost and so this is the and operator. Like first you will execute this, then you will execute the next one. So here we are. So let's just cd out there, and then what we can do, we can try to remove ghost, but it won't. So that's why I told you that you should always use r, the r flag. Then f. So suppose you something is not deleting for some reason, so what you can do is you can just force delete it. You can just force it. So ghost, sorry, rmrf. So I forgot to give the rm flag. So if you want to force delete directory, then you can just give rmrf. So that's how you do it. And then prompt before every removal. So suppose I want to make another thing on ghost, then I want to do I. So you remove directory ghost, it's asking me yes or no. Then again we see the ghost is gone. So that's rm command. Now how to copy files out there? Well, suppose let's see ls blender. So here suppose I wanna copy this file to our gimp folder, which is ls gimp again. So here we can just do it. So how? cp command. So cp command takes 2 file locations. One is our current file location, which is blender. Then the file name, we can just press tab to see all the files. So it's just suggesting us that this file, and then gimp. There, so what it will do now is it will just remove, it will just copy the file from blender folder to gimp folder. So we gave the 2 directories out there. Now if we do ls gimp, you will see that this file is out there just in front of you. Now what you can even do, you can just copy the file in another name. Suppose I want to do harry.png. So this will still work. Now if I ls gimp, then you will see there is another file called harry.png, which is the same file, this file in blender folder, which will just come into it but rename into another file. So cp has some stuff, has a big help manual. So here you can again, it's the r flag. So what does R do? R copies folders. R copies folders, or you have to use R to even copy stuff from folders. Suppose I want everything from Blender to get copied in GIMP Blender. Okay, so I have to make a directory before that, GIMP Blender. So I made this directory and I want to copy all the stuff in Blender folder to that thing. So it will take some time, then it's done, and you will see it's a lot more faster than what you do in the basic stuff out there. Now if we do lsgim.blender, then you will see all the files that were in the Blender folder in the desktop directory will come in this directory. Now it's not a necessity that you have to copy and paste it in the same directory, but you see, you can do it in any custom directory if you want, and that's how you do it. So like clear, there is move, there is mv command, mv, which is what it does is it moves the file. It moves the file. Suppose we give we again wanna make Blender and SVBD, this one, and we wanna move it to GIMP. So this dot here is nothing but it just tells that, okay, let's not just confuse you, and let's just move it here. So you will see that the again, if we do lsgim, then you will see that this file has come here, and if we do ls blender, then the file is no more here. So it has been moved. So there, it's like cut and paste. So that's how you move stuff. Now I would again like to just bring my file into the Blender folder so that Blender uncle doesn't really get mad at me. So here is the file that we retrieved again. So that's clearing and moving, and that's basically basic Linux. But another thing that you can do is you can use the cat command. Now what's cat command? Well, the cat command basically what it does is, suppose you have a file, we have, suppose let's go to CD programming, GitHub random projects, where there is, suppose ct tuxe, actually no, actually let's make a file touch. Actually what we can do is, without making touch, without running touch, if we do hello gh.txt, and if we write here something like hello world, I'm alive, and if we just write the file out there, then if you do ls, then you will see the file automatically appears there. So you can create a file even with nano, or you can even create them with this thing, with touch. So it's better if you want to edit files directly, that you create with nano or some other editor you use like Vim or else. But yeah, you can make it like that. So cat command basically fetches the contents inside the file. So you will see, I will just again clear it, then I will just call our file cat gst.txt, and here it is, hello world, I am alive. It's exactly the same text we had written before. So that was the Linux basics. I don't think that you need something more than that, and yeah, so this was pretty much done out there. So that's what you basically saw. So it was pretty easy, and it's not really hard on the hard way, and I showed you some simple commands like how to automate stuff out there, and you will see how speedy it is. So I hope you understood the importance of the terminal, and good luck for your Linux journey, and hope this video helped you. If it helped you, then leave a like down there and subscribe to the channel, and I will meet you in my next video.